Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series X-Men Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure Wave. This is Sabretooth. So these have started to hit GameStop stores, and then GameStop actually has just started shipping out. In fact, my order just shipped out today after I had already bought it in store, which is crazy. Now, people have mentioned that they've been having street date issues with GameStop stores. One of the stores here in town saying that, they can't sell it. It releases on Friday the 13th. But I called another store and they're like, yeah, we got it today. I was like, can you hold it? They said, yeah, sure. And then I immediately left and went to go get it. And boom, they let me buy it, no problem. They didn't mention anything about a street date. There were no issues. Comic figures don't actually get street dates. If there is any kind of street date, release date, any type of those things, that's done by the retailer. Like that in this instance, that'd be GameStop just putting in some kind of release date, but it's not a true street date by any means, because it's only as it relates to any movie figure or MCU entertainment, as they call it. Those are what get street dated, not comic figures. So just a heads up on that. But I'm excited to get this. Wolverine and Siren still have not shipped from GameStop, whereas I've heard that a lot of folks they've been waiting, ordered 2 weeks ago and they hadn't shipped. They actually had theirs ship out yesterday. Hopefully mine will ship out tomorrow. We'll see. It looks like Reavers 94 actually got Vulcan in somehow. I'm not sure how he did, but he has a review up for that, so check that out. But here we have Sabretooth, so I'm excited for him. Red and yellow X-Men logo there. You see Build-A-Figure Bonebreaker in the corner. Side artwork of Victor Creed Sabretooth, looking pretty cool. This is a smaller Sabretooth because this is based off of his first appearance in the Iron Man comic, so we'll see how he looks next to Iron Man. I don't have the old school deep V with the collar type of Iron Fist, but we got this one from Hasbro, so we'll see how it kind of compares. The bio for Sabretooth reads, with keen senses, a mutant healing factor, and zero moral restraint, Sabretooth is a dark reflection of his arch nemesis, the mutant hero Wolverine. So here we have all the figures in the wave to build Bonebreaker, part of the Reavers. So I have some of the other Reavers figures, and we'll kind of see how those will all kind of look together when we can build Bonebreaker, because I only have one piece, two pieces or whatever to build him. But here we have all the figures in the wave: Wolverine, Siren, Havoc, Vulcan, Maggot, Darwin, and Sabretooth is the last one, but it happens to be the only one I've got. So there we go. Let's take him out of the package. Okay, so here is the Sabretooth figure out of the package along with the Iron Fist. I'm going to hurry up and move this, and I did snap a picture of it, but it was difficult to get Sabretooth to balance with his feet like this. That was like really, really tricky to try and do. But this Sabretooth figure is cool. I always want to keep saying like Sabretooth Tiger. This Sabretooth figure is cool, but there's a couple of things that really want to talk about it that are kind of weird, that are not great, and there's some really good things about this figure, so we'll take a look at that. But first, let's take a look at the Build-A-Figure pieces for Bonebreaker. I don't really know what some of these pieces are. So we have like this engine piece. I guess this would be the engine portion for the tank, and this is the body will go. Yeah, I think this goes behind where his body would go. So if we have this is obviously where his upper half body is going to port onto. This will be like behind the tank. So I think as you set up the tank, it's probably going to be something like this, based off of the picture on the back of the package. Now, I don't have any of the promo images to see what different sides they have, but yeah, this motor piece definitely looks like it's in the back behind this other piece. So again, it should be something like this when you set up the tank. So I'm excited, but with these weird pieces, who really knows what's going on? I don't even know what this thing is. I have no idea. I have no idea where this even goes on the Build-A-Figure. So I'm going to be really excited to build this. It's really cool. I know this is one that Dwight has really wanted for a very long time, and it's cool that they were able to get that going. We've had some Reavers figures released over the years. Nice to see that we have Bonebreaker, and he's one of the most identifiable, I guess, by his look and everything. So that'll be pretty cool. So we'll take a look at the Build-A-Figure, in a separate video later on, but let's take a closer look at Sabretooth now. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the Sabretooth figure. This is based off of his first appearance in an Iron Man comic years and years ago. So he's not crazy huge or anything like that. That's why he's, you know, definitely a smaller size. Now, he's not super scrawny and tiny, kind of like the promo images first would kind of have you believe. You know, this is, if you think about it, here's like the Pizza Spidey mold here on this Iron Fist to see kind of the size that Sabretooth is. You know, he's still bulky. It's just not quite as large as we're used to, like the Hyperion body mold, where like the Jim Lee style Sabretooth there obviously doesn't quite work, or the Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth there. There was another one in the Puck wave that was still using the Hyperion body mold. I did have that at one time, but I've sold it off, you know, quite a while ago, so I don't have that one to do the comparison. But anyway, the Sabretooth figure looks pretty good, but a couple of things, like right off the bat, the elbows, like, damn, that is ugly as hell, right? And they could have done something different. We've seen before where they've had elbow joints to where one side is textured and the other side maybe not. It just sticks out like a sore thumb, and it just looks really, really bad. Oh, I hate the way it looks. You get this fur, which is done nicely because they get this nice wash over it to bring out some of the detail, so you don't just see like a gray. There's like a little like tannish wash in there. Looks pretty good, and it's kind of throughout the whole fur, so even around the collar piece, around his calves and everything. Just would have been a lot better. The next thing is the arms do look a little small in comparison to the body. You know, the forearms are a little bit bulkier, so it's not so bad. The shoulders are quite large, but it's the bicep that, in my opinion, just looks a little bit small compared to the rest of the figure. Legs aren't too bad a size or anything like that. He's got these crazy-ass claw hands. These look new, as you can see there. And then he's got these on his feet, which look kind of crazy. But the way that the fur on his legs go, it really hinders what we can kind of do with these ankles. So we'll talk about that, you know, when we go over the articulation. But I mean, it really hinders the hinge up and down. I mean, you get the ankle pivot, no problem, but you know, that's definitely going to be a problem. They did paint some skin tone flesh on the hands and the feet. Yeah, the yellow looks good, brown looks good. There's not a whole lot of paint apps on there. You know, there's brown stripe around and then slightly above his waist there. And then his chest piece. Not a whole lot of paint on this guy, though. The head sculpt, though, I think looks really good. He looks kind of like a drugged out dude. And I really like it. The paint apps are applied quite nicely. It does use the digital print for his teeth, his lips, and his eyes. Now, I saw a few comments that said it would have looked better if his pupils were all whited out. Yeah, I think that would have been really cool as well. I'm not sure why they didn't do this. I'm trying to look up images the best that I can. And I don't know if in his first appearance or very early on, it looks like his eyes were, you know, all white as well. So why they decided to give him like normal looking eyes on the figure, I'm not real sure. But it looks pretty good. The hair, we get a nice little brown wash in there for the blonde. Helps bring out the details. But I think he came out looking great. You got the ears on the side. Look at that. This ear definitely sticks out a lot more compared to this ear. That's interesting. I guess that's just how they sculpted the hair. Yeah, the head sculpt looks really good. But let's zoom out and see how his articulation is. Okay, so let's take a look at Sabretooth's articulation. So looking up, he can look up that much, which is great, so no issues there. He can look down quite a bit as well. Full rotation in there. Some pivot, not a whole lot. Get the shoulder, large shoulder ball. You can get the arm to go out that much. I think this was the Spider UK body mold. Oh, Grim Reaper body mold? I think it's the Grim Reaper body mold with the big ass shoulders, right? So you can get the arms to go out straight out. Full rotation, of course. Upper bicep swivel in there. You get a double jointed elbow. Again, it's an ugly ass elbow. Look at even on the other side. Damn it, looks like shit. Pins, so it uses reused parts and things like that. So we do have pins there. The wrists swivel and they do hinge. So it's actually a decent amount. We have an ab crunch, so Sabretooth can crunch forward that much. He can crunch back that much, which isn't a whole lot. And that brown stripe is painted all the way through, so that is pretty cool. We have waist swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart, not really a whole lot. You can kick forward really, really high. Leg goes back tiny bit, upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed knee, like so. There is no swivel at the calf or anything. Foot hinges down only a little bit. Again, the fur is really going to kind of get in the way. Well, you can get it down a little bit more. And then you can hinge up a little bit, but the fur definitely gets in the way when moving the foot up. Ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. The feet are a little rubbery, but it doesn't seem to be so much an issue as far as balancing and getting him to stand and things like that. So no need to worry there. But let's see how he looks next to some other Sabretooth figures. Okay, and so here we have the previous Sabretooth figures that have been released. Again, there was the one in the Puck Build-A-Figure wave that I do not have any longer. I wish I did, but it was essentially the same figure as this, you know, different deco, different head sculpt. But all these head sculpts are better than the other one was. Not that the other one was bad. It's just these ones I think were all pretty good. And then this one in the middle, having regular looking eyes, really throws it off compared to the whited out eyes of the other ones. But, you know, looking next to even like the Hyperion mold, he's not tiny. He definitely is shorter. But I think it works when we're talking about the first appearance. Even in that same suit, there's some images you can find where he's quite large. But it just kind of depends. I mean, if we were looking at like the cover of the Iron Fist issue, he doesn't look too bad size-wise. But actually, let's see how he looks next to Iron Fist. Okay, and here we have Sabretooth and Iron Fist next to each other, and I think size-wise between these two, it ends up looking pretty good. That's all we're going to do for the size comparisons. I know you should see how he looks next to Wolverine. When I get the Wolverine from the wave, I will then do a side-by-side comparison there, so you can kind of see the same things, because all the Wolverine figures use all the same body, so there will be nothing new there. But that is my review of the Sabretooth figure. We'll try and keep it short and sweet for you guys. Good looking figure. Is it the most wanted? Definitely not. I think the best one is still going to be the Age of Apocalypse one, because he's large and bulky. Just kind of looks badass. This one, not as much, but again, the biggest problems that I have are going to be like the elbows, because those joints just look really bad. And that's kind of the biggest thing for me. You know, the body doesn't get the most use out of the ab crunch or the legs or anything like that. But it's not terrible. It's just, man, the damn elbows. Like there's it's fine, but when you hinge it, then it just looks really bad. But the added paint apps, the wash over the fur to help bring out the details is nice. The hair is nice. The head sculpt looks really good. It's just, you know, is this one going to be necessary for your collection? If you have the other one, like the Jim Lee one, which I think was in the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure wave, this is my go-to Sabretooth. Not going to be that one. But, you know, it's definitely a solid release, especially if you're looking to build Bonebreaker. Then you're going to need to pick up Sabretooth. And the fact that, you know, he was shipping from GameStop now is pretty cool. Hopefully the rest of the wave will follow suit soon. I did get an email from GameStop today that says, hey, your pre-order is going to be ready soon. So hopefully the rest of the figures will be shipping out. But fingers crossed, we shall see. But this Sabretooth, he's pretty good, but he definitely can't be an easy pass if you're not into the kind of the smaller Sabretooth. But you guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts, what you think of the figure. Are you picking it up? Are you passing? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.